Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace, mercy, and blessings of Allah be upon you all. People possess different titles in different organizations they're associated with. But if you ask me, what is common in all the roles I play? Aisha is a nature lover, a concerned, responsible earthling who was once a school student like you and thought to take action in her own capacity. Far in the east, hundreds of meters below the sea, a little orange fish, Jelly, was happily playing with her friends. In an attempt to hide, she went a bit farther and came across something new in the seabed, which she assumed was candy. Unfortunately, many fishes like Jelly started suffering from genetic mutations and hormonal disruptions after consuming such items, and many marine species were also becoming endangered. What do you think Jelly ate? For sure, it was not something edible. What do you think? Plastic? Plastic? Any other options? Oh my, no, that's way too far. Well, thank you. Now, the million-dollar question is, how did my crimson red matte lipstick land up here? Cosmetic pollution. That little girl transitioned from school student to a researcher, exploring different dimensions of pollution with a novel idea in her head, and getting into learning entrepreneurship, and the journey is not over yet. This is a horrible situation. Fortune Business Insights says that the global cosmetic industry is worth $277.67 billion and is projected to grow at a compound annual growth rate, or we normally call it at CAGR, of 5% till 2028. Now, this is a huge market, and our consumption trends are evolving. So we definitely need a practical solution to combat cosmetic pollution. As I was studying consumption trends, I came across a research by Vaseline, which stated that 77% of women use less than 10 beauty products in a day, despite of purchasing up to 100 in a year, which is worth hundreds of thousands of money in a lifetime. I started conducting online surveys among individuals in my community, and the results were so shocking because no one ever realized that our beauty products might ever pose a threat to the environment. I also reached out to salon owners, makeup artists, cosmetics boutique managers, staff, and many other people. Unfortunately, all of them simply threw it away. And I did not get any solution for it. As any other school student, I did not have Gen AI at that time, so I had to Google to get my answers. But no one talked about cosmetic pollution. All the articles and resources I came across did mention about plastic and paper packaging of these cosmetics and the harmful chemicals that are banned, but not the beauty product, the material inside those bottles. So there was no such solution for cosmetic pollution. Basically, what happens? I will not go too deep into the supply chain of the cosmetic industry. That's a whole subject in itself. But it was very important for me to understand the product life cycle, all the way from production to distribution to disposal, and especially after disposal, to know where to break the chain. And I discovered that there are two ways for a product to go waste. One from the manufacturer's end, and one from the consumer's end. And I knew that I could only possibly do something before the products are disposed of. Wrong disposal of old and expired cosmetics leads to release of more than 160 harmful chemicals, which includes plastic microbeads, BHA, BHT, triclosans, siloxanes, DBP, and so much more. All these cosmetics lead to the release of these harmful chemicals, and these emitted fumes pollute the air. The toxic liquid that is released due to the biochemical reactions in the landfill pollutes the soil, killing beneficial microbes. It contaminates underground water. If it reaches to any river or canal, that makes its way to oceans and other water bodies, making the beautiful marine life its prey. There is a big chance that the seafood people eat today might have consumed some sort of cosmetic waste in its lifetime underwater. And I didn't yet talk about acid rain on farms and cities yet. Sometimes when you step out of your comfort zone, it is then when you get your answers. And something very similar happened with me. I started collecting old and expired cosmetics from people in my community, and I remember very well one of my first collections was from my school principal. So never ever think you are too young to start a good initiative. You can do it. The challenge was that you can recycle plastic to make plastic, paper to make paper, but no one would ever use recycled cosmetics for doing makeup. So I thought of solving this typical scientific problem in an artistic way. Flash forward. This is what I do with old and expired cosmetics. You like it? Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Some humans are very selfish and self-centered. When you can't take benefit from something anymore, you call it waste. In Nature's dictionary, the word waste isn't attributed to anything, not even a rotten apple. Though it's unfit for human consumption, still it proves to be food for microorganisms, and we have absolutely no right to mix it with other types of waste and make it unfit for their consumption as well. So it's all about resource management. It's all about how we look up to things. And trust me, we all are stakeholders of a more sustainable world. I'm not saying all of you to become ecopreneurs. Well, if you want, you can, inshallah, why not? But I would strongly encourage you to do some research and empower people who took up the challenge and are working to protect the environment. You are not just a customer who buys something from the market shelf in exchange for a few notes or coins. The customer is the most sought-after investor and the best marketeer for any company. Your choices influence market shares, create demand, and that leads to more suppliers entering the market to provide eco-friendly commodities, making it more accessible and affordable for all. My favorite genres in art are space art and Arabic calligraphy. But creating these paintings isn't so straightforward. It takes several days to finish one piece of art, and every artwork has different products and processes involved in creation of the painting. But all of this hard work is worth it. My initiative, Art Scientifique, is a bridge between fine arts, cosmetics and body care, and environment conservation. People who have this sense of care for the environment reach out to me because they don't want to regret that their choices for home or office decor led to any kind of pollution. especially when they realize very well that whatever they do will some way come back to them. We know life is a cycle. So these paintings prove to be a guilt-free investment, which they proudly hang on their walls, and with the confidence and self-appreciation that they didn't only invest in protecting the environment. In fact, they are also not compromising with the product quality, and they know that they chose the right thing. I would like to leave you with this thoughtful note. When we put so much effort into what we put on our faces, now it's time we also think about what we put on the earth's surfaces. Nature teaches us so many things, and what keeps me motivated to continue doing what I'm doing is the chirping of birds at 5 a.m. in the morning outside my window, the little rabbits and squirrels happily hopping around trees, the fishes splashing water in way far in the oceans, the sunrises and the sunsets, beautiful moon in dark blue skies, and the serenity of the starry nights. Nature teaches us generosity, balance, patience, growth, selflessness, and much more. We are not apart from nature. We are a part of it. Thank you.